Ryan Westbrook at AWS Marketplace Seller Conference 2024 here with GeekWire Studios, and I'm chatting with Chris Grusz, Managing Director of Technology Partnerships at AWS. Chris, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you again as well.
It has been an amazing year for AWS Marketplace, lots of growth, but let's back up a little bit. You've been with AWS Marketplace for 9 years. Tell us about your journey and where you are today.
Yeah, it's interesting. If I rewind back 9 years, when I first joined Marketplace, it was all in one floor, one building within downtown Seattle. We had engineering, product, BD, everybody was literally on one floor. And it was a small business at the time, and it was really centered around the ability to distribute Amazon machine images to AWS customers. And so it was transactional nature, and but you could see the promise, right? We obviously get to learn from our retail counterparts, one of the benefits of working at Amazon. And we saw how quickly that business grew. And so that was really what we wanted to do on the AWS side is, hey, can we do the same thing for business-to-business software? Can we bring that same marketplace experience to this side of the business and see if we're going to see the same growth? And it's been a phenomenal 9 years.
And the journey to bring AWS Marketplace into kind of the AWS family, what has that been like growing within AWS, and how do the two organizations work together?
Yeah, it's interesting. When you take a look at why Amazon is successful, everyone always points to the infamous Jeff Bezos flywheel. Right. And there's a number of concepts that he points to that are, why Amazon is successful. And one of those concepts is the concept of selection. People buy from Amazon because it's the everything store. They can get whatever they want. And so that concept of selection, when you come across to AWS, is provided by AWS Marketplace. And so while AWS has 250 services and growing, we know that our customers are always going to want third-party components.
Yeah.
And so AWS Marketplace is the way that we bring those in. And we look at Marketplace as not only the way that we bring in our technology partners, but it's also how we bring in our consulting partners. We have a whole variety of system integrators, GSIs, resellers, VARs, distributors that also participate in the AWS story, and we want to wait for them to come into that equation as well. And so Marketplace really becomes that entry point for any type of Amazon partner, network partner, to work with AWS customers.
And one of the things you mentioned at the keynote just a few moments ago here at Seller Conference is that the services business has been growing, and it feels like maybe that's a little bit of a surprise, like maybe that wasn't the initial goal, but great.
Yeah, no, it's, we added that because of, again, direct feedback from our partners selling through Marketplace and our customers that were buying. And what we found was that the channel persona fulfills a very distinct need. Our customers rely on channel partners for consultation, advice, it could be for implementation, and that was missing from our original equation, which was much more of an app store. ISVs one side and customers on the other. And so adding the channel partner component into the mix has really been just a great accelerant to our business. We have a lot of ISVs, that's their primary route to market, and now they can leverage Marketplace with their channel partners. Our customers that decide to work with channel partners for a variety of reasons can now leverage those channel partners and still buy through Marketplaces. So it is one of the fastest growing parts of our business, and I think we're just scratching the surface.
And what I love about watching Marketplace grow year over year here at this conference is that you're adding components to Marketplace that really help sell the whole picture and help fulfill the whole picture. Let's talk about some of those maybe non-app store like features that Marketplace offers that have really been successful over the past year.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we talked about this morning is we have this initiative that we call Marketplace Everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an umbrella initiative that really is driving the capability to push Marketplace into other places to make it easier for our customers to get the technology they want and to make it easier for our sellers to get their products into those spots. And so you think about some of the things that we've done as an example, integrating Marketplace into our EKS console experience. Yep. When a customer is now spinning up an EKS instance, they now come to a step during that build process that says, do you want to add third-party products? And it's a curated list of stuff that's very specific for EKS. And a customer can now actually add that, they can subscribe to it, and never even leave that EKS experience. And so it really starts to provide a great platform to do much more kind of product-led growth type of initiatives. Because now we're putting products in the right time, at the right place, to the right customer, and that leads to people just buying in a self-service manner. And so that's kind of one aspect of Marketplace Everywhere. The flip side of that is now taking our Marketplace and pushing it outside of AWS. And so some of the things that we've talked about as an example where we're working with distributors now, and we're actually allowing them to take Marketplace and actually display that into their own portal. So Carahsoft is one of our top distributors in the public sector. When you go to the Carahsoft portal, you can now actually buy AWS Marketplace listings directly from that experience. So it's all about taking our Marketplace and putting it into deeper AWS experiences, and also take your marketplace and actually distribute it outside of AWS.
So it's almost like a white label experience, if you will?
It's providing marketplace, it's basically decomposing marketplace down to a set of APIs.
Gotcha.
And then now that we have these APIs, there's all kinds of really cool use cases that you can embed marketplace, like I said, externally. It could be maybe a SaaS application where they just want to have a pay with AWS marketplace component. It could be a customer portal. It could be a different AWS service within the AWS console experience. So there's all these really cool use cases now that we have these APIs that are just starting to pop up. And it's really, it's expanding the ability to use marketplace into areas that we couldn't touch even a year or so ago.
And speaking of areas that you couldn't touch a year or so ago, internationalization is a big focus, whether that be currency, language, on down the line. Talk to me about that and what are some of the initiatives there?
Yeah, I mean, when we look at internationalization, we look at it as a great opportunity for AWS Marketplace to help our partners because it's kind of undifferentiated heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of technology companies will never say, our secret sauce is our ability to go into market in France, right? But it's something that they need to do. And it's a very expensive endeavor. And so we look at that and saying, hey, how can AWS Marketplace simplify that? And so us adding kind of marketplace operator support for EMEA as an example now simplifies that ability to go to France. And we're replicating that. We've launched Japan, Australia, New Zealand. Later this year, we're going to be launching in Korea. And that really expands the ability to go in those markets. And it's the same thing with currency, right? Doing currency translation and dealing with currency fluctuation is not exactly a really sexy topic.
Right.
But if we can do that through Marketplace, so now our sellers don't have to worry about the ability to price in the Korean won when they go into Korea, and instead having to do that translation, we take care of that for them. And so internationalization, we think, is just an awesome area for AWS Marketplace to really help our partners kind of reduce their cost of overhead to going into these international areas.
All right, let's talk about what's next. What's on the horizon? What will we be talking about here next year?
Yeah, well, obviously continued selection. Like we continue to hydrate the catalog. One of the things that's very exciting this week, this is not my first conference this week. My first conference this week was actually in Vegas at Oracle Cloud World. And we announced that Oracle Exadata will now be available on AWS, and it'll actually be sold through AWS Marketplace, right? And so for my 9-year history, I don't think I would have ever kind of foreseen being down at Vegas talking in front of their press about the fact that Oracle was now going to be available in Marketplace. And so we're going to continue to add that top selection. We take a very close look at the top 100 ISVs in the world, and we're continually adding those products in. Last year, this time, we announced that we had launched Salesforce in Marketplace. If you fast forward to today, they've broken every single sales record we've ever had. And so, we see this continued selection as another part of our experience. The internationalization, you're going to see a lot of innovation on that front. And then we talked about that product-led growth experience as part of our Marketplace Everywhere story. We really want to make our third-party products look and feel like a first-party AWS service. How our customers find them, how they subscribe to them, how they deploy them, how they manage them. If we can simplify that, that's a great thing for our partners and a great thing for our customers. So you can anticipate that you're going to see a whole bunch of additional innovation on that front as well.
How much of that simplification is happening through automation?
Oh, all of it. Like that is really one of our leadership principles is invent and simplify. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do this manually. We're trying to provide automation so that our partners and our customers can do this at scale. Because Marketplace is now a 10-year-old service, and we're no longer talking to partners about doing 100 or 200 or 500 private offers. We're talking about how do we do 10,000 or 50,000. And so at those levels, you have to have automation. You have to have that scale. And so, there's automation that we do on the product-led growth side, and there's automation we do on the co-sell side. But that is really the direction we want to go, is simplify that experience for our sellers.
That is fantastic. We look forward to what is happening in the future. Chris Grusz, the Managing Director of Technology Partnerships with AWS. I'm Brian Westbrook with GeekWire Studios. Thanks for watching.